Hello YouTube, Byyrth17 here, but you can just call me Travis, and welcome back for another collection update. Yeah, I guess I can start off by saying Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there who might be watching this. If you are all curious, if you're not, I'm going to force you to look at it anyway. My dog got me this awesome new wallet that has her imprint on it. Which I pretty much like anything that has the imprint of her or Shiloh, rest in peace, on it. So thanks for that, Darla. All right, let's get going. In the background, we're listening to Meola's Casino. If you're not familiar with Meola, he is a jazz fusion guitarist from the late 70s, 80s, and yeah, this is probably my favorite release from him. Alright, yeah, I actually got a bunch of 2018 releases in this batch. First one up, this is Täyttymys, or yeah, I'm gonna go with Täyttymys from Cosmic Church. That's how you pronounce it. If you're not familiar, this is a Finnish black metal band, sort of in the atmospheric black metal area. Although this in particular is a little more riffy than some of the other releases that I've heard by this artist, which is mostly just the last full length that he had released. It's like Wylitis or something. It's the one where he's like kneeling in the snow. And then there was an EP that was released after that, Vigila, something like that, where he's like walking, the same red hooded figure is walking like in a very green forest like place, not as misty looking as this. But yeah, this is a new release. Sounds like this is gonna be it. But yeah, it's a good release. Like I said, it's a little more riffy than I was used to, but I really thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, just really good stuff on here. The production actually I think is really strong. I think that makes everything sound really awesome, and everything just sounds very balanced. I just broke teeth just so I could show you some misty fog picture. Incidentally, for whatever reason, this paper smells really good to me. Originally you did have to email to acquire this, and I was being a baby about that and didn't want to do it, and it benefited me to do that because eventually Arcane Altar got in copies, so I ordered from them. I'm not sure if they are still available. I'll take a look and I'll leave a link to Arcane Altar if they are. Inside we got some awesome you know, nature looking photography stuff, and then the Finnish lyrics coupled with English translation, which for those of you who are into looking at lyrics, that was a pretty cool bonus. One thing I think was interesting is that the last song is the title track, Täyttymys, or whatever you pronounce that, and it's translated here as attainment. And yeah, when I put it on Instagram, it has like the ability to translate it, and it was like fulfillment. So I thought that was interesting. Anyway, cool atmospheric-y black metal. Definitely worth a shot if you were into such things. So yeah, Cosmic Church, Täyttymys is what we're gonna go with. All right, next up, this is I think we're gonna go with Byyrth. Byyrth. This is a American raw black metal band. This is their second full-length album. They released one last year, which I cannot recall the title of. This one actually I actually really like. This one has a big degree of like kind of like a crust punky energy added to it. Very riffy, which I think actually works out really well for the band because it gives a chance for the really vicious vocals that this band has a chance to just like be just venomous, just like just sounds awesome. Awesome stuff. The energy on this album is just really great. I think it's like 27-28 minutes, so it's just like and then like it's over. So yeah, definitely cool stuff if you're into raw black metal and you maybe want to hear a little bit more energetic version of that. Definitely check out Echoes from the Cave, 7 Caves of Blood by Byyrth. This released on Iron Bonehead? Yeah, Iron Bonehead. I didn't say, but the Cosmic Church is released on Kun Pavelis, which I'm not really familiar with. But that's like what all their albums are released on. Next up, this is a death metal band. This is Monotheist, Scourge. This is a band out of Florida in the U.S. This is a kind of a really progressive, fair bit of techiness death metal. Out on Prosthetic Records. I would actually say, and this is probably true for most bands who dabble in the progressiveness and the techiness, is that I wish it was even more techy than it is, but you know, what are you gonna do? Yeah, cool stuff. Everyone is a very talented musician. Vocals are very solid. Super lengthy tracks. You know, I think there's a kind of an interlude style track, and then the first track's like 4 some minutes. After that, I think everything's like at least 6 or 7 minutes or longer, with several tracks. In fact, 3 in a row. Infinite Wisdom, Desolate, and Mourns Before Me, and Abominable. Wow, Abominable Acts. Abominable Acts. Those 3 songs are all 10 minutes plus. So yeah, this is definitely you know what you're getting into with song lengths like that. It's gonna be progressive. It's gonna be techy, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome. We got some guest appearances from let's see, where's that stuff listed? Yeah, we got lots of people, you know, doing solos, and got some additional vocals and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely some cool stuff to take a look into if you're into progressive death metal with a good helping of some techiness to it too. Yeah, Monotheist with Scourge. All right, next up, this is a album actually I got a regular version. I don't know, maybe a month ago now. It is Smoulder, the Sword Woman. I was actually just perusing on Hoove Child Records. They're big cartel. That is the label that released the album. And I saw that he had put up test presses for all of his releases. I was a little too late at the time. The Satan's Hallow was already sold out, as they're all one of one, and so I was bummed. Really would have loved to have that, but this Smoulder release, the Sword Woman, it was available, and I've actually just really been super into this release. I wish it was more than 3 tracks, but anyway, I decided to grab at the lone copy of the test press. It comes in this kind of cool little plastic case. I don't know, it's just cool because it's different. But yeah, has this test press label. It's just labeled B on the back there, as you can see. See, I can show you what the regular version looks like. Yeah, see, it has the white text on it. And then it has the test press 1 of 1 labeling there. So that was cool. Happy to have it. I'm not gonna lie, the idea of 1 of 1 was very intriguing to me. Plus the fact that I do enjoy the release a lot. So you know, as you can see, I got a Smoulder shirt too. So I was glad to be able to grab that. And actually, not too much after that. I'll get that later. Not too much long after that, all of the rest of the test presses that he had were gone. So that's awesome. Props to him. And yeah, keep on doing your thing. All right, next up, a couple of Dungeon Synth releases. Then we'll get out of here. I'll save the best for last. This is the second release from this artist. I think the first one came out either at the very end of last year or at the beginning of this year. This is Owlbear with Lich. Came across this on Bandcamp. Self-released, I'm pretty sure, on a dub tape. This is kind of it's kind of that sort of like dungeon crawler kind of sound. Going for it, a little minimalistic. That's not the word I want. The word I want is we'll go with minimalistic anyway. Got number 4 of 20, which is rad. Yeah, you know, not a whole lot going on with this, but I really enjoy the artwork. That's pretty cool. Now I need to pick up their the first one that they released, and I think this is going to end up being a trilogy. Is what I read. So I'll have to grab the other one when it comes up. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Not my favorite Dungeon Synth release ever, but not bad. This is Owlbear with Lich. And finally, last but not least, I talked about being a self-imposed victim of buy it now or cry later, and I cried, and then it was a repress came out, so I didn't think about the cost, and I purchased it, and I'm glad that I did. This is actually the first one, because I picked up the second one recently. This is the first released by Kobold, The Cave of the Lost Talisman. I'll show you the art without the reflection of the case. Here's the white tape with the red Kobold on there. B-side, A-side. Here's the rad art for this release. Again, one that's not so... Yeah, there we go. All right, so I don't know if you caught my other video where I showed the other Kobold release that I grabbed. How do you spell Kobold with a K? Really? Oh, that's right, because it's over here. Curse of the Ancient Abbey. If you watched that video, you kind of have an idea of what the presentation of the packaging is like, but if not, this is some pretty cool stuff. So first off, it's very dungeon crawler, RPG, Dungeons and Dragons kind of themed, we'll say. As you can see, it's very this picture is very dungeon crawly. But yeah, we get first off we get a little section here that's a profile of the party members. And one question I did have with the other release is, was the party the same? And the answer is yes, the party is the same for both releases. So, you know, it's just a little, it actually goes through and, like, if you're familiar with Dungeons and Dragons, it does have, like, you know, gives, like, the class and his strength, dexterity, intelligence, goes through all the main statistics of a character. And then it kind of goes through, like, the equipment and armor and weapons that they're carrying. So that was a cool way to kind of start. And then on the back it has, just like the other one, it has kind of like a map. It kind of tells us what's going on in the release. And here's all the track listings here. And then as you can see on the map, like for instance, here's number 1's right here, number 2. Those numbers correspond to tracks on the album. So essentially you can sort of go through listening to the album and kind of get an idea of what's going on by looking at the map. So that's pretty cool. But then additionally, there also is included a little storybook. Here's what this one looks like. And yeah, at the same time, it has, a few lines of text per, like here's number 1. And it has a little bit of an idea of, like, this particular one says, "Into the dungeon, a dark grotto like jaws of the earth. Ancestral fear carved into the stone. We walk under ancient roots, laying our steps on moist moss, our eyes plunged in the darkness. Our world stands behind. Everything that we face onward will become from unknown worlds." And so essentially, they're not all super vague like that, but again, all these numbers correspond to a moment on the map, and again, one of the tracks of the album. So it's really cool to take the story, take the map, listen to the album, and, you know, kind of fill in the blanks with the characters of what's happening in the story. And they do a really good job. It's really, really cool. I kind of brought this up in my previous video that I had a cool idea that I wanted to do, even though no one got back to me and said that they also thought it was cool. I'm still going to do it anyway. So I'll probably do some sort of dramatic reading of either one or both of these tapes. So look forward to that maybe in the future. So yeah, awesome release. Super happy to have grabbed it. This is out on the in an Italian label. Heimat der Catastrophe. They release lots of cool dungeon synth projects. So yeah, super pumped that I was able to grab this. Super happy to have both of the releases. And anything by this band that comes out in the future, I will be jumping at immediately. Kobold, the Cave of the Lost Talisman. Alright, that's all I got for this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you're familiar with any of these releases, please let me know what you think of them. And yeah, have a good day and happy Father's Day. I'm Darla.